Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 121 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Been better! Aries! Brady! We just got done watching the AFC Championship. It's very late on a Sunday night. We might be a little delirious. Freaking Brady, dude. Freaking Brady just won't stop. Can't stop, he won't stop. And the refs won't let him stop because they're like, I know I can't overrule that call on the field, but because it's the Patriots, we're going to overrule it. And I know that catch, I know that the football hit the ground, but we won't overrule that because it's the Patriots. Like, even the announcers were like, man, well, 3 times this quarter, the calls went in the Patriots' freaking favor. No kidding, because it's the freaking Patriots.
Not to mention the roughing the pass.
Oh, my God, what the hell was that? Like, he didn't even touch him, didn't even graze him.
We're not Patriots fans, if you can tell.
Oh. We knew the Chiefs scored too fast. It is what it is. We're going to try to keep the podcast to mostly podcast stuff, but it literally just finished. It's late, and we're frustrated, so it is what it is. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching us here. If this is the first time you're seeing us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast where every week two brothers get together and discuss the world of video games. Thank you guys so much for being here. If this is the first time you're seeing, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video with your friends and family, or if you're listening on audio services around the world, make sure you leave us a 5-star rating to make Dustin Starr proud down in the review section of the thing. Share it with your friends and family. Make sure you subscribe. Get the downloads every week. Go back, check out our back catalog from 2018. We appreciate you guys being here. If you did not know, we do have a merch store. Sean, hit me with the magic fingers. Teespring.com/stores/2player co-op. We also have a Twitch channel, which we don't use that much, but we want to use it more. Twitch.tv/2player_co-op. Sorry for the underscore. There's 2-player co-op stuff all over the world, all over the place. We didn't do the best SEO when we did this. Search engine optimization.
That's the one.
Swamp. We're not here to talk about depressing stuff.
Depressed.
like football is right now. Sean, this past week, I looked on my television, on my wall, on channel 848 on Comcast, which is the USA Network.
Yes.
And on the USA Network, I saw someone who was front row at Monday Night Raw in Memphis sporting a beautiful 2-player co-op t-shirt, which you can get at teespring.com/stores/2player co-op. I'm not putting it in again. Sean, what was it like being there for Raw?
It was awesome. Like, those tickets were $100.
Oh,
like
I thought
100.
It would be way worse than
I
that.
thought it'd be like 300.
Yeah. That's not bad.
And it was totally worth it. Like, I would get those tickets every time if I could. It was so cool. Got to high five Becky and Bailey and Finn, and then
You gave him the good luck.
I patted Dean on his sweaty back when he was walking back out after he lost.
Not in his Bane coat.
But it was so much fun. It was so cool. I mean, Vince being there, like, I was probably, 7 feet from Vince. He wasn't giving out high fives or anything, but it was so cool just to see him. I'm Vince McMahon, and I swagger when I walk. It was awesome. I mean, I think it was a pretty good Raw anyway. Like, I think I would have enjoyed it even if I was watching at home. It was a pretty good one. But being there was so cool.
They got really good reviews online.
I know it's pretty much... They seem to stick to, like, the same schedule. Like, Raw is usually here right before the Rumble every year. And I'm assuming
usually
SmackDown...
comes back like a month from now, right? Doesn't it?
SmackDown was here right before... Money in the Bank last year, so like June. Okay. So I'm assuming they'll be here
every
in June.
6 months or so.
So I'm going to try to basically get those same tickets again for SmackDown.
The better show.
But yeah, it was awesome. It was so much fun. Totally worth it. And totally different from being up in the cheap seats where I've typically been for Raw.
Yeah.
One thing that's weird.
Yes.
I don't remember it being this way before when I've been to Raw, so I don't know if it was the seats, like being on the floor. I couldn't hear almost anything, whether it was the in-ring segments or like the backstage segments, I just kind of hear like I couldn't
It's
make
all
out anything.
Yeah.
I think it's just, I don't know if it's where the speakers are or what, but like I was texting you and you're like, so what are they doing? And I'm like, I think there's a fatal 4-way tonight for number 1 contender. And then you're like, oh, I was thinking that was next week. I'm like, well, crap, maybe it is next week. I don't know, but luckily it was that night, and my dude Finn won.
We'll get to that next week.
Check out
later this week.
Yeah, later this week we'll be doing Royal Rumble predictions with Ernie and hopefully Nick if he can make it. So I won't get too much into my thoughts on that yet, but yeah, a lot of fun. Had a great time. Very, very cool.
The only thing I will say, just to tease it a little bit, this is the first Rumble in I don't know how many years where I have literally no idea what they're going to do, at least with the men's. The women, it should go one of two ways, and neither of those two people are in it right now, but officially in it. I have no idea what they're going to do with the men. I could throw out 5-6 names and be like, that would make sense, that would make sense, that would make sense. On Raw and SmackDown, total 6, 7, 8 names that they could all make sense because, I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like, was it 2 years ago when Orton won? Or was it 3 years ago? And it was just like kind of, I love Orton, but it was just kind of like out of the blue.
It's 2 years ago.
And then it was just the worst.
And they're like, let's put bugs in the ring on a projector.
It's just so stupid. But yeah, I kind of feel like last year it was obvious. Well, it seemed like it was obvious that it was going to be Roman, and then Curveball and Shinsuke won. But we all knew it was going to be Roman and Bry. So even if he didn't win, we knew what was happening. I don't know this year.
No, it could be. Well,
but that's good.
We'll save it. Tune in Friday for a Royal Rumble prediction special bonus episode this Friday at Two Player Co-op. Well, I'm glad you got to go. It looked awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
Do you know what else looks like it'll be a lot of fun?
What's that?
We got a trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, everybody that's out there crying on the interwebs, did you really think they were going to kill off Spider-Man in Avengers after he got one movie, whatever you want to call it? Technically he's been in 3 movies, but he got his one solo movie. Come on, man. Obviously.
Well, but are they complaining about this trailer?
No, they're complaining that why did Feige say it's after Endgame?
Oh, I didn't even know that he officially said that. But of course he's not.
Of course he's
dead.
not dying. It's like, do you think Black Panther's gone? No. Come on.
Even why would they? I'm sure I would still see it. But let's say Endgame comes and goes and Spider-Man is still dead or just missing, whatever, and he ain't coming back. Why would they make another Spider-Man movie and be like, well, he's dead, but here's what happened earlier on before he died. That's stupid. Obviously, he's coming back. Unless every movie going forward is now going to be a prequel, because they're obviously not done with Black Panther. They're not done with Spider-Man.
They're not. Guys. They're doing Doctor Strange 2.
Is that confirmed?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever see the first one?
Nope. Don't care to. Oh, just worried that we ran out of battery. That was really the computer screen went blank. I got really scared.
Is it plugged in?
Yeah, the charger wasn't in all the way, so now we're good. Now it's charging. No, didn't see it. Don't care anything about it.
It was fun.
I think the trailer looks great. I still do not like the black and red suit, especially after seeing Spider-Verse. I'm like, black and red is Miles' suit. I don't know why. I don't know what the story. Because when they packed the suit, did she pack blue and red and then it turns black and red?
I couldn't even tell if it was. I knew it was supposed to be black and red, but I'm like,
when he's out flying
black
around,
and red, I'm like, it almost just looks like dark blue. But I don't know. I'm okay. He's got a different suit in every movie, basically.
Yeah. The stealth suit it looks better than it did in pictures. I don't know. I like Spider-Man to just have one suit. That's just me.
Yeah.
I do not believe for 1 second that Mysterio is a good guy in this. Only a good guy, I should say. I don't believe it for 1 second.
Are you supposed to believe that?
He said, I'm a good guy, and he's helping Spider-Man. No, kid, I got this, whatever he said.
He's like, yeah, stand back. You don't want to.
He's what somebody said, and I think this is going to end up being true. I think it was Jeremy Johns said it. He's like the guy in The Incredibles, the first Incredibles movie, Mysterio. Sinestro, whatever his name is. I'm going to make people think I'm a good guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really know much about Mysterio. Is he typically kind of like a tweener? Sometimes good guy, sometimes bad guy? I wouldn't have thought so. But I mean, he's the bad. They wouldn't have built this up so much just to have him not be the bad
and
guy.
have him just fight elemental people. That doesn't elemental people.
Elemental people.
There's no way. But the one thing I did say, and I texted Sean after I watched, I was like, "Oh, okay." And I texted Rasanto. I was like, "Yeah, Gyllenhaal could have done Batman. Damn it! Like I don't know who's gonna be Batman in the Batman that's supposedly shooting later this year. I doubt it.
The only thing I worry about." What I know about him, I like Mysterio. Seems like a cool cat. Love Gyllenhaal. Something about, I don't know. When I first saw him in the trailer, I'm like,
the beard maybe.
Something just seems. It seems like it's something that would have been in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Like it just kind of. It doesn't seem like it fits. Like Michael Keaton as Vulture. Loved it. It was perfect. It was like very not subdued. What's the word? He just looks kind of out of place. He looks too old
comic
Spider-Man.
booky.
Yeah, like I don't know. And I'm sure it'll be fine. I can't wait to see it, but it seems a little from the trailer, something about the looks or something just seems a little out of place, but
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it, but I know what you mean.
Speaking of Spider-Man.
Yes.
I've been playing a lot of Spider-Man.
Okay.
At this point, I'm going to platinum it. I'm done with everything. I have nothing but crimes left.
You beat the game already? Or you're saying...
Well, no, but I've already gotten the trophy.
The stuff that you need to do. Okay.
Yeah.
You did the Sable Outpost?
Yeah, I did I did those, and I did all the prisoner camps or whatever. I did the second round of what's his name, Taskmaster stuff, and then I fought Taskmaster.
I actually liked that boss fight. I thought that was fun.
That was fun. It was like Link versus Dark Link kind of thing.
Or you fight him twice, really, I guess, or is it 3 times?
You fight him twice.
I think it's twice. Yeah.
But the first time, do you even have to beat him?
No. I think it's more like a cutscene that you play.
Basically, yeah. But yeah, I'm going to platinum it. Honestly, if I get maybe tomorrow or Tuesday night, like one more night, like an hour or two, I think I'll have it platinum.
Do you know how many crimes you have to do?
I would guess, I've been doing them like literally no matter what I'm doing in the game. If a crime pops up, I've done it. So I'm not in too bad a shape. I would guess, how many districts are there? 9, 8, 9?
Something like that, yeah.
I bet I have... it's a decent number. I bet I have 50 or so.
Okay.
I probably have like 4 to 6 crimes left to do in basically any district.
That'll take you 4 hours.
It's going to take me, yeah.
Oh, wait, so you did the best score on the Taskmaster
Yeah,
stuff?
those weren't... I thought you had to get the top level.
No.
Spectacular's the middle. The middle. So that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And I had already gotten 2 of them. Yeah. I had gotten the combat one and the bomb one already.
So you had to do the drone.
So I had to do the drone and then the stealth.
Oh, yeah.
The drone was a little tough, but I got it on like my 3rd try or so.
And you don't even have to like get all of them. You just have to get... Because I think you get so many bonus points if you get to the end in time that as long as you don't just
you don't have to get every single
drones, yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna platinum it. I don't really care about the. It's a cool accomplishment. It'll be the coolest trophy I've gotten. The coolest. Well, yeah, but coolest platinum I've gotten because right now that's Oceanhorn, which
Batman.
Really wasn't that bad, and then Batman, which you just have to beat the game. So it's. I know so many people have platinumed it and whatever. Better late than never.
It's a good platinum. It's a good.
Yeah.
It's a fair.
And I've
platinum.
enjoyed doing it. Like I thought, the reason I didn't get it the first time is just because I thought I don't want to mess with this. But I've had so much fun going back through this whole game for a second time, and the game, it almost looks as though, I'm sure it's not true, but it looks better than I remember. Like I would almost venture to say they patched it. Like. The character models, to me, look beautiful. Like, everything's just so well done. And all the awesome, like, cutscenes at the end with like, the rogues gallery when they escape. It's just so cool.
It's like the thing that I like about the way Spider-Man looks is it's almost like the way that I like the way the God of War looks, if that made sense. Like, neither of them are going for photorealism, but they're going for whatever, I guess it's the art direction or whatever. It's like Like, Kratos does not look like he's a real person. You know what I mean? But he looks freaking awesome. And the environments, like when you walk up to the turtle house and stuff, and the red light, like the environments are beautiful, and like the characters and stuff, like they're not going for photorealism, but what they're going for just freaking works. And it's the same thing with Spider-Man. Like some of the models are probably more human-like, I guess is what I'm trying to say, than God of War. But like the overall picture and like how nothing feels out of place. Like when you're fighting Vulture or you're fighting Rhino or whatever, like they just make sense and they just fit and everything looks great. The game's fantastic.
Yeah. I love it.
I'm proud of you.
Game of the year.
Did you see the teaser for Ghostbusters 3?
I didn't. I don't know that I really care, honestly.
It's the only reason I care.
Now, who's in it?
I'm a huge sexist. I'm just kidding. The other movie sucked because the movie sucked, not because the women are hilarious. It wasn't their fault. We don't know who's in it yet.
Okay. Is it like Seth Rogen? Is it like
no?
those
They're
guys?
not going to do that rumor thing.
Okay.
It is going to be. I don't know if they're going to call it that, but it is Ghostbusters 3. It continues the story from 1 and 2, whereas the Ghostbusters 2016.
But are they like Egon and Venkman, or are they like
no cast has been announced. All that we know is there was that trailer.
Okay.
Rumors are saying it might focus more on kids, but it is set like this happens 30 years after the events of the 80s or however long it's been now. It happens 30 years after Ghostbusters 2.
Okay.
The director is Jason Reitman, who is Ivan Reitman's son, who, of course, directed Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I think he directed both of them.
Okay.
And his dad is producing them as well. So it's like, okay.
Seems like they're doing it right.
I'm like, okay, maybe this won't suck. Maybe it'll actually be decent. But
yeah,
we'll see. It's coming out summer 2020. We'll see. I don't know. I just thought it looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you been playing anything other than Spider-Man?
No, because I'm on the clock. I'm running out of time, and I'm like, if I don't get this platinum now, I'm not going to get it. So
yeah.
I want to go ahead and finish that up. One trophy that I'm missing somehow, which I could have sworn I did this, is doing all the lab stuff, which I think is basically all the voltage things and then the spectrometer stuff. I could have sworn I did all those in my first playthrough. So what I'm thinking is I may load up my original save instead of New Game Plus.
Yeah.
And if I didn't do like the last one, rather than have to go through all of them on my new playthrough, I might just load that one up and finish it.
I would definitely do that.
Because I don't know why I didn't have that. I could have sworn I made it a point to do all those, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't.
When I was doing that, I couldn't even find the spectrometer stuff at first. I was like, what am I missing?
It's just those two things, right?
Yeah, but I was like, all I could find was the one. I was like, why am I not getting this trophy to pop? Like, I've done all the things. There's nothing else in here. And I'm like walking around. It's like, oh, look at this, look at this. Oh, here's a map. I'm what's going on? And I finally was like, oh, there's something back in that corner over there. Okay, boom, 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 trophy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You must have just forgot to do one or something.
Maybe, yeah.
I have been playing more Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm about 9.5 hours in. This game has now taken off for me, I must say.
Okay.
If I were to go back and redo my top 10, I can safely say this would end up being probably not better than Spider-Man. It's not going to be better than Spider-Man. This is probably a solid number 3 for me last year. So I'm about 9.5 hours in. One thing I did not realize until this week was that I was basically playing the prologue for the first 4+ hours. Because once I did that, and I finally get to like the first main story beat, and then it's like, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I was like, oh, I'm just now starting the game. Are you kidding me? 9.5 hours in so far. I finally got out. I heard sea combat was a thing in this, which I wasn't too sure about how I felt because like I don't like boats and stuff. Like it's just never really appealed to me. It's not horrible in this. I don't really like it. Like you basically, once you get in your boat and you go from like the harbor out to like the open seas, there's just boats everywhere. And anytime somebody sees you, it doesn't matter if they're good, bad, whatever, they're like, attack, man! And they just try to ram you, and you got to everybody shoots their bows at them. And then you can have everybody speed up, and if you hit them, like if you hit them perpendicular, you can crush them, and you can break their boat in half, and then you get you loot like wood and stuff from breaking it and everything, and it's okay.
Now, are you gonna platinum it?
I don't think there's any way in hell.
Really?
Because I'm 9.5 hours into this game, and I'm already like, I see question marks everywhere, and like there's like, remember how I said at first I was like, it seems overwhelming. Now that the world is opening up and I'm sailing to different islands and stuff, I'm like,
But I mean, is it the kind of thing that it would just be a grind to do? It's not something where you need to beat it on super hard difficulty.
I don't think there's
under
any
20 hour, something stupid. Like
I don't think there's any missable trophies. I don't think there's any difficulty based trophies. I don't think there's any like choose your own adventure trophies, because the story definitely does take some twists based on your decisions. Like you can do the right thing or the wrong thing, or you don't know what this is.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to do the right thing. Oh, that is one thing that's cool though. So I did that for just a normal. I was like sailing past this little tiny island, and a little exclamation point popped up, and I was like, all right, I'll go over there. So I got off the boat, swim over there, and this guy's like, oh, these pirates, they captured my brother. I don't know if he's alive or dead. Go save him. Okay, I'll go save him. So I go into the pirate camp. I sneak around, stab, kill you. Oh, they saw me. Whatever. Kill them all. Yeah. And I see the brother, and they're like, escort the brother to safety. So you got to pick him up. You go up. This is not a spoiler or anything if you end up playing it. It's a little side quest. You go up to the top of this mountain. You put him down. Cutscene plays. He's like, how bad is it? And he's like, you can tell him like, well, you're not going to make it, or I think you'll be okay. I'm like, I think you'll be okay. And he's like, yeah, you're a horrible liar. Well, just tell my brother, that I love him or whatever. He dies. You go back down, so the next thing pops up, says, okay, go back, talk to the brother. I go down, swim out to the boat, get down there, talk to the brother. He's like, did you bring my brother back? Is he okay? And it's like, tell him he's dead. Tell him he lived. So I'm like, oh, tell him he lived. But when I said tell him he lived, Alexios says, yeah, he said rather than die, he'd rather just stay with the pirates, just, so he could save his own life, and he wanted you to know that he's okay. And then the brother's like, what the hell are you talking about? Pirates killed our dad. There's no way he would have ever gone to work for pirates. You tell me the truth. And I'm like, okay, well, he died. And then he's like, why would you? I could never work for somebody that lies to me. And then it says quest failed. I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. So I lost out on like 1,300 XP or whatever it was. Like not a lot, but still like, oh, that was cool. I did not know that. I did turn the enemy scaling down because that update came out. It seems like it's not making that big a difference, because it seems like whenever you get a quest, it'll say like you should be at level 13 or 14 or whatever.
Yeah.
And the enemies in that, like if I go to an encampment where I got to go assassinate somebody and it's a level 13 quest, everybody in there is 12 or 13. So it's not like I'm going in there with 8s and 9s and stuff. The combat's not that hard, unless sometimes you do get people that are the same level as you, but they're either like a mercenary that's out to kill you, or they're like a captain of like a bandit camp or whatever, kind of like in Horizon. Yeah. And they have like double or triple the health that the other people. I think I separated my shoulder sleeping last night. They've got like double, triple health. It's not like they are really good against you. It's just it takes so long to kill them, and then if you haven't like isolated them and you got like 4 or 5 guys trying to kill you at the same time, you're just done.
Yeah.
But I did the enemy scaling and whatever. It doesn't seem like it's making that big a deal. But yeah, I'm really getting into the story now, and the story took a turn last night that once it was happening, I was like, this is very obvious where this is going to go. I'm not going to say anything about it. But if you've gotten about 9 hours in, well, I don't even know what the time means, because if you're doing side quests, you could not see this for 20 hours. I don't know. But I was about 9 hours in. I was like, I know where this is going to go. And it did go that way. And I think I know how it's going to end up playing out, but whatever. It's still fun. My only regret is we got back to the present day stuff. And I was like, oh, I was hoping this was never going to pop up until like the end. And it's really just like you get pulled out of the Animus or whatever it's called. And you like walk around and you're like checking your email. You're going over here and you're looking at a chalkboard and it's like, okay, I'm ready to go back. All right. Are you sure you want to go back? Yeah, that's the fun part of this game. I'd like to go back now, please. Thank you. There's definitely some kind of sci-fi stuff back in the past with Alexios, or Cassandra, whoever you're playing as. I'm pretty sure the story's just the same. It's just either they either say he, instead of saying he, they say she or she. You know what I mean? The one negative I will say about this, other than the game being overwhelming, it was okay yesterday, but this is the first game that I have played where I'm like, man, it feels like this game was designed to only run on a PS4 Pro. When I got to the first big story beat about 5-6 hours in, this thing happens up on the mountain, cutscene's done, whatever, and it's like, okay, go back and talk to somebody. So I run down this mountain path, and as I'm running down the mountain path, it like kind of like jumps, like everything freezes, but I can still move the camera, and then I can start running again. I keep going, and then like there's a guy walking, and then the camera freezes and his upper torso disappears and his legs just keep walking. And then I'm like, what is happening? And then I'm rotating the camera and then everything freezes. It's just done. I'm like, shit. Luckily, there's a lot of auto-saving in it. But I was like, it was like 10 o'clock at night. I was like, I'm tired. I'm just going to turn this off. Came back. It saved me right where I thought it did, so it was fine. Yeah. But I've also had issues where, like, remember how I said I love the horse controls? Like, you can just hold X to stay on the path and then push triangle to go to your objective. It's so easy. I love it. It's almost like there is fast travel in the game, but it's almost like horse fast travel. It's almost like sometimes my horse goes too fast, where it gets to like an area that hasn't loaded yet, and the horse freezes. There's times where I'm like I jump off a rock, and it's like, meh, and my horse freezes in midair, and I can like rotate the camera around, and like, what the heck? And it's like he'll fall a little bit, and then a little bit, and then it finally loads, and he goes down, and he starts running. I'm like, oh man,
jeez.
But that's the only. It's so weird. Like the game's huge. It is not. It's not Red Dead. It's not Spider-Man. Yeah. It's not God of War. It's not that technically impressive, again, because it's just such a huge open world and there's so much in it. I get that, but like this is the first game that's ever made me feel like I'm being punished for not playing on a PS4 Pro, which is very odd.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I love the game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Only downside is we're now 5 days away from RE2 coming out.
Oh crap!
Not a downside at all. I'm so excited to play it, but this game is going to get put on the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
And then I got to play Majora. I don't think I'm doing the overseas thing because everything with my bosses it got sped up.
Oh really?
March 1st is her date, so I think that means we're probably not going to be going overseas for another team meeting, which is fine. I hate flying. But I love ACO. At some point this year, I will beat it, and then. I'm almost to the point now where I'm like, I want to see where the story goes. I'm going to mainline that, but if I do that, I will never platinum it because I will not go back for another. If it takes 40 hours to beat the story, I'm not going to go back for 40 hours of side quests and checking off boxes.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't really feel the need to platinum it at this point, but I don't know. Maybe throughout the course of the story, I'll check off a whole bunch of boxes and I'll only have like 20% of the trophies to go. Then maybe. But
yeah.
That's it. Want to get news of the week, Sean?
Sure.
Boy, oh boy. Electronic Arts, y'all suck. From Kotaku. Electronic Arts has canceled its open-world Star Wars game, according to 3 people familiar with goings-on at the company. The game, announced alongside the shutdown of Visceral Games back in 2017, had been in development at EA's office in Vancouver. EA Vancouver, a large studio that mostly handles support for a variety of the publisher's games, including FIFA and Battlefront, had been working on this open-world Star Wars game since October 2017, when EA closed Visceral Games. Until then, Visceral, best known for its popular Dead Space horror series, was developing its own Star Wars game. That project, codenamed Ragtag, was a linear action-adventure game directed by Uncharted director Amy Hennig. EA Vancouver had been assisting on this project, and when EA closed Visceral Games, the Vancouver studio took over. But it wouldn't be accurate to say that EA Vancouver Star Wars was the same game as Ragtag. When EA Vancouver took over, it rebooted this Star Wars project. What did I say?
Vancouver took over?
No, Vancouver took over. They rebooted this project entirely, keeping some of the art assets, but transforming it into an open-world game. Now that project is canceled too. EA did not immediately respond to comment. Stay tuned for an update to the story. EA had not shown any of the open-world Star Wars game publicly, but the publisher had talked about it when it announced Visceral's demise. Quote, it has become... Demise is the bad guy in whatchamacallit, right? Skyward Sword. It has become clear that to deliver an experience that players will want to... This made me pissed off the first time I read it a year ago, and now it's making me mad again. Will want to come back to and enjoy for a long time to come, we needed to pivot the design. A development team from across EA Worldwide Studios will take over development of this game, led by a team from EA Vancouver that has already been working on the project. Basically, they're like, we need Star Wars Destiny, not Star Wars Uncharted. Blah, 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 blah. Respawn's game, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, supposedly is still coming out. Update. Since the publication of this article, I've talked to... Not me. Jason Schreier. I've talked to several more people with familiar with EA Vancouver's now canceled open-world Star Wars game. This project, which was codenamed Orca, was very early in development, but would involve playing as a scoundrel or bounty hunter who would explore various open-world planets and work with different factions across the Star Wars universe. When EA's top decision makers looked at their roadmap for the next few years, they decided that they needed something earlier than the planned release date for Orca, according to two people familiar with what happened. So they canceled Orca in favor of a smaller-scale Star Wars project that's now aimed for much sooner, likely late 2020, which also happens to be around the time that I've heard next-gen consoles will launch. To EA's credit, those people said the publisher did not lay off anyone as part of this transition. That's good, because, I mean, when they killed Visceral, they killed everybody.
Yeah.
They didn't kill, you know what I mean. A second update, a day after publication of this story, bless you, EA sent over the following statement, quote, "There's been speculation overnight about one of our Star Wars projects. As a natural part of the creative process, the great work by our team in Vancouver continues and will evolve into future Star Wars content and games. We're fully committed to making more Star Wars games. We're very excited about Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order from Respawn, and we'll share more about our new projects when the time is right." So their statement said literally nothing. Sean, EA, I don't know... We joke around, we meaning everybody in video games, joke around about how EA always gets voted like the worst company. They're the worst company.
They're not doing themselves any favors.
What the hell? They signed, I think the deal started in 2013. We're now more than halfway through the deal. Their exclusivity for Star Wars. They've given us Battlefront 1. Did that have a single player campaign, Sean?
It did not.
It did not. That is correct. Fine game, multiplayer, whatever, or you can shoot against bots, and like even I'm good against bots. Like, who cares? Then they're like, we're going to make Star Wars Ragtag, whatever. Remember when they showed just that clip, that like 5-second clip at EA or E3 maybe 2 years ago, where somebody walks out and you could tell it's Tatooine or whatever, and it kind of pans up, and I'm like, oh my God, this looks awesome. And then it's like, that's the game, Amy Hennig. Amy Hennig is writing and directing a Star Wars game. Are you freaking kidding me? So all we've gotten is Battlefront 1, Battlefront 2. Oh, Battlefront 2, it had a campaign. Great. That campaign was 5 hours long, and it sucked. Sorry to Shiva Kamini Samokantakran. It wasn't her fault. Janina Gavankar, I think that's her name. Not her fault. The campaign sucked. It was boring. I tried it for a little bit. I was like, this is boring. And then it was just like more multiplayer. And not only that, it's just vomit microtransactions everywhere. Microtransactions that are so bad that into the lead up to the release of it, Bob Iger at Disney had to call EA and said, I don't know, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know what the hell you guys are doing over there, but stop. Okay, microtransactions are gone. And then they brought them back after a while, like after 6 months. Well, now they're back in the game and whatever. Like, not only that, you give us two Battlefront games that are both subpar. You cancel the one game that literally everybody was excited for. A Star Wars game directed by Amy Hennig. You cancel that. Then you're like, well, okay, we're going to take those assets and stuff. We're going to roll them into this open world game that actually sounds like it might have been pretty fun. And now we're going to cancel that. Now we're going to do something smaller scale. And then we're going to have this come out in 2020. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is not coming out this year.
No.
Period. What the hell? How do you take something like Star Wars? And
This should be like a slam dunk. Like,
yes! It's freaking Star Wars! Just...
What I don't like, I guess I didn't realize that this open world game was going to be... I don't want to play Star Wars and be a scoundrel. Like, I want to be a Jedi or a Sith, and that's it. I want to be fighting with a lightsaber. I don't want to be like, pew, pew, pew. Like, I don't like that. I mean, I'm sure the game would have been good regardless, but it doesn't matter now.
It's just, I've never... There are so many... Like, look at what just...
All right, okay, so in your mind, who's worse, EA or Konami?
Konami.
Okay. Just checking.
Until they give me Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake.
Well, yeah.
But just when you think about, like, Marvel, the name Marvel right now, this might be a stretch. This might be hyperbole. Probably means more than the name Star Wars.
At this very moment,
or they're at least
Probably,
almost
yeah.
on even footing.
Yeah.
And you have Marvel that we still don't know what the Avengers project is going to end up being. It looks awesome. You just gave a console exclusive Spider-Man game, which was your game of the year, my number 2 game of the year, lots of people's game of the year, like the best Spider-Man game ever made, bar none. You can't even argue it. The best Spider-Man game ever made. They nailed it. Like, and we don't know what else is going on. Maybe like we joked about, maybe Xbox gets an Iron Man game or something.
Yeah.
You know, Switch is getting Ultimate Alliance exclusive, at least to start, and people are freaking so stoked for that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you take, like, it. You should just print money if you have, and I mean, to their credit, they did print money, at least with the first Battlefront, because it was just, it sold at least 10 million copies. I don't remember what it was. Doesn't mean it was a good game or a quality game, but like, I just don't know how you screw this up unless you're EA.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like it, Raymond.
I don't like it one bit, Raymond. So I don't know. It's just like, I feel like we're going to be doing this in 6 months, and we're going to be saying either Jedi Fallen Order is either canceled or at least delayed until next gen or something. Like,
What do we get first, that or Final Fantasy VII?
Neither. Because I don't think either's ever coming out.
That's sad. Well, we finally got Kingdom Hearts, right? So anything can happen.
Anything's but insert Kevin Garnett gif. Anything's possible. I don't know. It's just so frustrating. I love Star Wars. Like, we haven't had a good run of Star Wars lately. Like,
No.
from Battlefront 2 and all its stupid microtransactions, and then whatchamacallit
Last
came out.
Jedi,
Last
and
Jedi.
Solo.
At the minimum, Last Jedi was divisive. I'll say that. Good, bad, whatever side you're on, it was divisive if nothing else. Solo bombed. Solo made $390 million, and it cost, I think, $300 million to make. It was like the most expensive movie ever made, or it's right up there with like Batman vs Superman and a couple others.
Yeah.
But Batman vs Superman made $880 million. It was still not. I mean, it probably made its money back, and that's about it. But like, Solo bombed, and now the one like. And then Ragtag got canceled, whatever that was going to end up being, Amy Hennig's game. And now this other game, it's just so frustrating.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say it was a bloody end to this very violent end to the Star Wars game, right, Sean?
You could say that.
You know what else is bloody and violent, Sean? Mortal Kombat 11. So they did a Mortal Kombat 11 reveal event this week. Did you watch this?
No.
Oh, dear God Almighty! I'm officially old. Shout out to you, Nick
It's
Shafani.
just too much for you.
I can't anymore.
The only thing I've really seen, I saw the original
Yeah.
whatever video,
From
and
the
then I
Game
saw
Awards,
just today. I don't know when it was posted, but I saw it today. Some new character.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Saris or Karis, however you say
Yeah,
his
that
name.
guy.
Garrus. Geras, I think.
That sounds right. And yeah, it's like they still do the whole like X-ray moves where you see like bones breaking or whatever. And the dude's fatality, he like punches them in the back of the head. Their face flies off with their brain coming behind it. Like, it's just, I mean, it's still over the top. It's not like, I mean, it's gratuitous violence, but it's not, it's still kind of, I don't know how to, it's like so over the top that it's
right.
almost
It's like
comical.
Jason movies.
Right. It's not like, I don't know. I'm not to the point yet where I'm just like, oh, I can't watch this because it's so over the top. Now, like, if they
Yeah.
did fatalities and somebody just came out behind you and just like slit your throat, I mean, kind of like Scorpion did back in the day before he just cut you in half after.
Like Saw 2.
That might be a bit much.
Like Saw 2.
But it's so, like, I punch you in the back of the head and your face flies off. Like, it's kind of funny at this point. But
Well, did you see? So Baraka, like, pulls your face off, I think. There's so many that I get a mess up. Baraka, like, pulls your face off, so your skull's like, ugh. And then somehow, I don't know if he takes his blade and he stabs it through or whatever. He pulls your brain out of your head, and then he proceeds to eat your brain, looking in the camera going, on its blade. And I was like,
all right, I need to watch this now.
it's horrible. So I'm not going to get this game. God bless Mortal Kombat. Like,
I don't think I'm going to get it either. Like, when it comes out, I'm going to just do a quick YouTube fatality.
All fatalities, Mortal Kombat 11.
And once I've seen them all big, that's
done,
cool, and that'll probably be the end of it. But
all right, so from IGN, though, so there's some details were revealed. The Mortal Kombat 11 reveal event, the first details on the game's story were given, and it was confirmed that it will follow the events that occurred in Mortal Kombat 10. The new story mode is said to be a, quote, time-bending narrative that will, as Ed Boon says, allow for, quote, situations where old characters can meet their younger selves. I guess that makes sense why in that first trailer we saw the two scorpions. Like, he's dead, and then the other one comes in, and he kills Raiden, and, like, I don't remember. The time manipulation will occur because of Kronika, the first female boss in Mortal Kombat history, as she is the keeper of time and creator of existence and needs to, quote, bring order to the universe by any means necessary, following Raiden upsetting the balance of history by torturing Shinnok. Now, I thought we were sure that Raiden was a bad guy in this. Maybe he's still a bad guy, but not the bad guy.
Maybe. I don't know.
Kronika will bring with her a new fighter to the Mortal Kombat roster, Garrus, so it was Geras, who's her powerful and loyal servant that can also manipulate time and utilize the power of sand. So he's Spider-Man 3, yes. The Mortal Kombat reveal also confirmed that Ronda Rousey would be voicing Sonya or Sonya Blade. At this point, I've said it both ways so many times, I don't remember what's the correct way to pronounce her name.
I've always and still always say Sonya.
Okay, that's what I thought too. Our character has been around since Mortal Kombat began in 1992. We also got our first look at the roster, which showcased 8 characters, including newcomer Garrus, whatever, and the pre-order bonus character, Shao Kahn. Mortal Kombat 11 will be released on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch on April 23rd, and arrives with a collector's edition that includes MK11, the Combat Pack, a Scorpion Mask bust, steel case, coin, and more. It's like a full-size Scorpion mask.
That's pretty cool.
But I don't think you can wear it. I think it's just like a statue. So that kind of sucks. So it's not as cool. All right. So I wrote down the characters confirmed so far are Scorpion, Raiden, Baraka, Scarlet, who was a fan favorite, I guess. She must have come in after I stopped playing Mortal Kombat. So I
think that's like Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah. Sub-Zero, Sonya, Garrus, Shao Kahn, who is a pre-order bonus. There are other characters that were shown, but they were only in cinematics, so we don't know if they're playable yet, like Kung Lao, Liu Kang, Cassie Cage was in there.
I can't imagine they would.
I'm sure
not
they're
be
all going to be playable, but they've all died and come back to life so many times that I can't even keep track of it. But I don't know. It's not for me anymore. I've gone past it, and it's like we've always talked. Like it's tough with fighting games now, like even Smash included. Like, what do you do? Like the thrill for me of Smash was getting. I haven't really played it since I unlocked everybody. I'm like, well, all right, I got everybody. I guess I'm done now. Like I need to go back and play first player with the Belmonts and with Snake and with everybody that I care about and play through that. But I'm not going online. Also, I don't have the online service. But like fighting games, like I love getting the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection because it's just like, first off, it's 12 games in one, and it's so nostalgic to go back and play that and see like. Even in the arcade versions of these games, these fighters still have like the same patterns and attacks and everything that I remember from playing it on the Genesis, you know? And it's fun to play that one-on-one. And it's fun to go online, and I'm probably like 50% win or loss on there. But a game I've never played before, like Mortal Kombat, like I don't know. And then you just throw in the over-the-top violence, and I'm an old man.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not something I'm going to get either. Fighting games to me are just... And I, like you said, Smash has kind of already gone that way. It's just they're kind of like side scroll like beat 'em ups.
Yeah,
like it seems like a good idea to keep them around, but like Streets of Rage 4, I'm looking forward to that. Yes. But that's going to be like a playthrough at once, and then probably
it's going to be a couple fun Let's Plays,
until like 10 years from now on. Episode 870 of the Two Player Co-op podcast when we do a Let's Play of
Streets of Rage 3 versus 4.
But I don't know. I mean, it looks cool. It looks very over the top as a Mortal Kombat game should be, but I don't think I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about that. I watched Forrest Gump yesterday.
Well, that's random.
It was on TV.
Yeah, okay. We watched one Friday night. When we got to Arkansas at the hotel, and the boys went swimming at the pool because if you go to a hotel, you have to swim in the pool if you're a kid. Then we got up there, and it's like 9 o'clock. I'm like, all right, guys, we got to wake up early tomorrow. Nick's meet starts at 8. We got to get up and shower and eat breakfast, blah, blah, blah. Let's get ready for bed. Nick turns on the TV. I'm like, all right, well, let's just see what's on. And then I get to TNT, and of course, guess what was on TNT?
Dark Knight.
Man of Steel. Close enough. And it was at the Smallville fight scene where it's like, don't touch my mother, I'll kill you. And it was just like, watching it, I was like, yeah, this is better than Aquaman. This is still, and part of me, like, I need to go back. I've got Wonder Woman on Blu-ray. I need to go back and watch it again. But it's like, those two are neck and neck for me, honestly. It's so good. I know it's muted and his suit's not all bright and blue and he kills, spoiler alert, he kills somebody, but like, what the hell was he supposed to do? The one thing I do say, watching it back, I was like, I do see the complaint about Superman, not to get off on a tangent here, but about Superman being very careless with just like, all of Smallville's like destroyed now because you're throwing people through build. And why are you throwing somebody through a silo and it just explodes also, Zack Snyder? That didn't make any sense. But again, he's a rook, like he's never fought anybody in his life before. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So whatever, it's still a great movie. Anyways, it's still a great movie. Last item here before we get to the wrap up. Death Stranding is an actual game. There was some sizzle reel or something went around from PlayStation showing like something about video games in 2019, and Last of Us and Death Stranding were both in it.
There's no chance this game is out in 2019.
A lot of people are saying that they think this is way more close to done than Last of Us.
I don't believe it.
Death Stranding was shown off. So this comes from IGN. Hideo Kojima has shown off the first 2 hours of gameplay to developers at Horizon Zero Dawn Studio, Guerrilla Games. That was weird. Wait, at Horizon Zero Dawn Studio, Guerrilla Games. However, don't take that to mean it's ready for the rest of us yet. Kojima Productions' head of marketing and communications, Aki Saito, makes clear that the game isn't yet complete. She said on Twitter, showed the first 2 hours of gameplay to our Guerrilla brothers. Yes, Hideo was demonstrating it. The game is not fully completed. ... Yet. Interesting.
I mean, you don't need the yet. It's not fully completed.
But I think the ... yet is like...
But it's almost. Yeah.
PlayStation. Guerrilla's Death Engine is what powers Death Stranding, so it's no real surprise that the Dutch devs would be among the first to see Kojima's work. It does leave the rest of us still guessing. Since the game's announcement, we've heard about a design philosophy featuring ropes and sticks. At some point, we need to go back over every interview with this game and like, let's just take a podcast and just try to figure out what the hell's actually going on here.
Yeah.
It's not Silent Hill. It's not Silent Hills. And seen hints of gameplay in a trailer, which was a FedEx delivery service, it looks like. But we still don't know what the moment-to-moment gameplay will involve, or even if the game will arrive this year. It'll be interesting to see how and when we learn more, given that publisher Sony is skipping E3 this year. Thanks for reminding me, IGN. So Mads Mikkelsen was asked in a Reddit AMA if he could say anything about Death Stranding. And he actually replied, and he said, quote, I can say a lot, but I would get a visit from 6 strong Japanese guys real fast if I did. Thank you, Mads, for keeping the humor in Death Stranding. I don't know. I'm just glad that the game is actually playable for 2 hours. My hype, like I think we both agree on this. Like our hype levels for this have just gone boom. It's not going to be Metal Gear.
No,
I mean, and I don't mean that like tinfoil hat. I just mean I think it's clear this game is not going to be a Metal Gear style of game. If this ends up being technical, stealth action game, I'll love it. But nothing that they have shown indicates that at all. This seems like it's more just an adventure game where you die and come back, and rain slows down time, and then there's oil and babies and Guillermo del Toro, and there's tanks over here, and then Mads. I don't know. I'm glad it's actually a game. I pre-ordered it because I wanted to get my 20% off on Amazon before that expired. But like, I don't know. It could come out this year or it could come out in 2021. Neither wouldn't surprise me. You got to remember, like, he came over to Sony December of 2015, and they started working on this almost immediately. He didn't announce the engine, I think, until the first trailer, which was at E3 2016. Oh yeah, that was because that was when I was out to dinner and I couldn't watch, and it was the handprints and the oil and stuff. So they've been working on this for a good 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
So it's even for Kojima, but I mean, it took him 5 years to make God of War, so who knows?
Yeah.
And now the wrap up, Sean, or anything else you want to add there?
Nah, until I actually see gameplay,
like a HUD, and like so we actually know we're watching gameplay.
I've lost interest in it, and I fully expect the interest to come back whenever they show me something, if it's something
Right.
good, but I just don't care anymore.
Yeah. I hate that. Like, it's Kojima. But if Konami, this is sacrilege. If Konami were to announce finally Metal Gear Solid 3 remake in Fox with 5's controls, I'd be way more excited for that than I would be for Death Stranding.
Oh, yeah.
Not
easily.
even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. A little part of me just died saying that. All right, now the wrap up. Free Celeste DLC is incoming. There will be one full new chapter coming. There will be no B-sides. They said no strawberries also, which I guess that's true. They wanted it to launch in time for Celeste's anniversary, 1-year anniversary, which I think is the 25th. It's not going to land in time, but it is coming. Please be excited for that. Rocket League is now cross-play across all consoles. So Sony has now caved on Fortnite and Rocket League.
I don't understand how this game is still a thing.
It's crazy.
It's fun when I played it, but I don't think I could possibly like that game enough to be still
like 4 years
playing
now.
it.
I think it was 2015, yeah.
Like, it's just, you drive a car around and you hit a ball into a goal. Like, how does that not get old after 4 years?
And it's not even like Fortnite. Like, I know they've like released new stuff for this, but I don't.
But it's like new skins.
Exactly. It's not
the
like
game doesn't change.
Where Fortnite, every few months they do a new season and the game changes. The map changes. There's new
Right.
challenges. There's new place to explore. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Currently going on right now, there's a Call of Duty 4 Black Ops Blackout Mode free trial on PlayStation and Xbox. You do not need to have PS Plus to download it. Did you download it and play it, Sean?
Nope.
I did not either. I thought about it and then I decided not to because, I mean, I own PUBG and I suck at that. Why am I going to go try to... And it's probably
not even
like
worth it.
30, 40 gigs or something, which I don't have on my hard drive, but it's going on until January 24th. I hope you're excited. I think they... Obviously, they didn't screw it up because it was the best-selling game of the year, of course. But, like, I think you could have made even more money if you would have just said $60 for the full release, so you get Blackout, multiplayer, and zombies, or $40 for just the Blackout. Because apparently the Blackout mode is supposed to be awesome as far as battle royales go.
Right.
Like, Call of Duty, whether it's Treyarch or Sledgehammer or Raven, whoever the other, I can't remember the name of the other one, the other developer that works on Call of Duty, but their gameplay is always perfect. It's so perfect that like other people kill me before I even see them. So it doesn't surprise me that they nailed it, but everything I've heard is they freaking nailed it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, great, but I'm good.
Yeah.
Walking Dead final season, the final episode 4 will come out in March from Skybound. So if you want to know how Clem and I forget the guy's name, but how Clementine's story ends, I'm happy they at least, I hope it's what the original vision from Telltale was.
Right. Yeah.
I hope it's not. They're like, well, all right, we'll bring you guys on, but this is how we want the story to go. It seems like Skybound has done such a good job of bringing as many people on as they could. I assume it's the initial vision of it, but who knows?
Yeah.
In an update, Nintendo Selects is adding more games for the 3DS. Super Mario Maker 3DS, Majora's Mask, of course, right after I get it, and Star Fox 64 3D are all $19.99, I think now. By the time you're reading this, at least, I think.
I've pretty much retired my 3DS at this point.
If they would just put Link Between Worlds on the thing. Oh, but
I mean, that would be the only thing, I think, at this point.
And Metroid, like I said a few podcasts ago, like, I'm not going to because I've got ACO, and then I got Resident Evil, and then I got Majora waiting there. Like, I want to go back and play Metroid.
Metroid was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Sales update on Smash Brothers Ultimate. In the first week across the globe, it sold 5 million copies.
Jeez.
So that's already I think a 25% attach rate. I think they're right around 20 million Switches, something like that. And it's probably up to 6-7 million by now. Super Mario U Deluxe, also speaking of sales, up 56% over its launch on the Wii U.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was a launch title for the Wii U. What else were you buying with the Wii U other than that? So that just tells you again. And go ahead, check out Mario Mondays. We put up World 2 a couple days ago. 3 and 4 coming up after that. We found out there's not really World 3 and 4. There's branching paths. Didn't expect that. I mean, they're all the same worlds, but you can get to them in different orders.
Yeah, I mean, now it makes sense why they aren't numbering them. And they just call them the name.
We're numbering them in our playthrough, though, because I already made the thumbs. Well,
Well,
for the ones that we did, but yeah. I think it worked out. I think
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Xbox Game Pass for January is getting Shadow of Mordor, We Happy Few, Saints Row the Third, and Lego the Movie, the video game. And for some reason, the Uncharted movie now has its fifth director in Dan Trachtenberg, who was the director of 10 Cloverfield Lane. This movie's never going to happen.
Probably not.
And I don't care because Tom Holland is hashtag not my Drake.
He's young Drake.
He's not.
The Adventures of Young
He's
Drake.
not. By the time this movie comes out, he's going to be old Drake.
Well, but that'll be perfect.
No, he won't. He's not perfect. We got the 14-minute short film with what's his face. Now I'm blanking on his name. Nathan Fillion. Like, that's it. It can't get better than that. That's it. Just shut it down. That's all we needed. You should have cast him anyways. And now he showed you that you should have casted him. Casted or cast? You should have cast.
Should have casted. Cast. I would say cast. The die has been cast.
Has it though?
It has.
Okay. When just happened? Did you get shot?
My knee popped.
I'm sorry that happened. That's it for the news section of this podcast. Sean, do you know what time that means it is?
No, I don't.
Did you know that it's time for the Did You Know section of the podcast? Sean, did you have anything you would like me to know?
No, but I would like you to know that we need a Did You Know song.
Did you know? Or do you have one in mind?
No, but I'll come up with something. Did you know
that you're my hero?
I'll come
You're
up with something.
everything
We need to do the jingle.
Like to be. Oh yeah, right, because we did the. Yeah. Okay. Now I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have a Did You Know?
I don't have a Did You Know.
I have a Did You Know.
Is it Metal Gear?
Oh, it definitely can be. Let's see here.
What are my options? What Did You Know do you have besides Metal Gear?
I have, let's see. Metal Gear, Donkey Kong, Metal Gear, NES, Donkey Kong.
2 Donkey Kongs.
Metal Gear, yeah.
Let's do NES.
Did you know, this isn't that good because I didn't have the research on it.
Then we can do the one that you do have research on.
Okay. Did you know, I'll switch it up. This is kind of NES. Did you know the original Donkey Kong arcade cabinet? The original Donkey Kong game was not to be a big ape, a plumber, and a damsel in distress.
I almost want to say I did. I mean, I can't think of what it is. I'm wondering if you, when you tell me, if I'll remember it. But I feel like I did know that. But
originally, Donkey Kong, Nintendo had the license to make a game about a sailor who likes spinach.
I think I did know that.
And it was going to be, you were Popeye
and Brutus or Bluto
up there, and Olive Oil, who is my Goyle, is who you were going to save.
That does make sense. Do you remember the NES Popeye game?
Kind of. I remember that it was a thing.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. Maybe not awesome.
I mean,
but at the time, I remember being like, "This is fun."
Yeah.
And I don't remember how I kind of picture it being kind of Donkey Kong-like. Actually, it wasn't like a side scroll. I think it was like one screen.
Oh.
It kind of was like Donkey Kong, the way I remember it.
That does sound kind of familiar. I knew you did. But no, so it was going to be, so what they did, they obviously had to turn Bluto into an ape. They turned Olive Oil into the damsel in distress. And so they lengthened her hair. They made Mario, they turned Mario from Popeye. I guess that was the biggest change. Well, no, probably Bluto into an ape was the biggest change. But going from Popeye, and it almost makes sense when you think of the music, like it sounds like, you know what I mean? Like when Mario's going around the hamburger, it sounds like Popeye. But yeah, Donkey Kong was originally not going to be Donkey Kong. It was going to be Popeye, the arcade game. And I don't remember why, because I finally started reading my first boss fight book when we were on the trip. Yeah. I was reading about Super Mario 2, and I almost couldn't. I got 50, 60 pages in just at the gymnastics meet. And I want to read it, but I also want to play video games and watch football and stuff. It's just tough. There's too many things. But that was in there, and I was like, huh, I think I knew that. But I don't know that I knew that. It's one
I
of
don't
those-
remember. Yeah.
It's like the Mandela effect. Or
I don't
whatever.
remember it being Popeye, but I do remember hearing some kind
Being
of story
something.
like that. But then there was a Popeye game, which is weird. And I remember it being kind
Was it
of
like
Donkey
the Bugs
Kong-ish.
Bunny game?
Sort of, yeah. I
Or was
picture it
that-
as being like one screen per
Okay.
level. And I don't know if you had to get to the top or what you had to do, but it wasn't like a side-scrolling thing.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go and look it up now, but
But there's your Did You Know for the week. Original music still to be determined. That's it for this week. That's it for episode 121. Thank you guys so much for being here at the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, you can find us at nerd901.com. Go over there and check out everything they got going on. Check out Ernie at youtube.com/blurwithoutfear. Send him upwards and onwards as he continues to go upwards and onwards. On Twitter, you can find us. I'm at KevinWhite24. He's at Real Sean White. Together, we're at 2player_co-op. If you like video, you can go to youtube.com/2playercoop. Like I said at the beginning, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. Seriously, though, if you just listen to us on audio, even if you don't plan on watching us on YouTube ever,
throw us a sub.
go over there, hit the sub. It helps us out. We're trying to get to 1,000 so we can get back to actually showing up in searches and actually trying to make a little tiny bit of money that YouTube owes us and they took away from us. So it'd mean a lot if you can go over there and leave a sub, leave a like, all that other stuff. Sean, do you like audio?
I do now.
I finally remembered how to do this. If you like audio, you can find us on podcast services around the globe like iTunes, SoundCloud, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, and other audio services around the world. And that's it. I'm not going to mention Facebook because there is no point.
Facebook.com/2playercoop.
Facebook.com/2playercoop gaming. It was close. Okay, good. That's it for this week. This has been a fun episode. We appreciate you. Wow, my eye's twitching. I must be stressed. We appreciate you guys hanging in there with us for the whole thing. Let's hope Tom Brady loses in 2 weeks. But until that time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing. Almost
What
forgot my
happened
line.
there? Thank you, guys.
Say, see you next time. That's not right.
Bye.